Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Screening Room podcast. This is your host, Mike, joined by my co host, Devin.
What's up, everyone?
And today we're going to be going over our thoughts on the new Spider Man movie, Spider Man Brand New Day. We're going to start out with some spoiler free discussions, but at a certain point in the episode, we're going to transition into spoilers.
Yeah, so we'll make it pretty clear when that transition happens. Mainly because a lot of my thoughts about the movie are tied to a certain spoiler, so I can't really talk. I'm gonna try to my best in the spoiler-free section, but yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
what
that's fair.
happens. But definitely go see the movie
So,
before watching this episode in its entirety. But in any case, the
oh,
first bit of
absolutely.
this is going to be safe for people who haven't seen the movie. Obviously,
Mhm.
this isn't going to be like
Yeah.
our normal weekly episode. That's still going to be coming out later this week. This is more of a bonus episode, if you will. But we literally just got out of the theater, and yeah, we just wanted to document our thoughts. So with that all said, I'll let you kick it off with your initial spoiler-free thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, we just got out of the theater for this, and overall, I did like the movie. It had a lot of things going for it, which I really was in favor of. It had I liked some of the cinematography in this. It had a really, like, I don't want to say vintage feel to it, but it had a very nostalgic feel for me. I grew up watching some of the Tobey movies, and then a few of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. And it kind of harkened back to that earlier, more simplified, streamlined version of Spider-Man, where it had, like, for me, it had pretty good swinging scenes. It had great fight scenes too. I'm not going to get into those until we get to the spoiler section, but it had the general vibe you would want for a Spider-Man movie. I really liked a lot of scenes in this. I'm bringing this up because it's in the trailers. I love the montage scene. That was such a cool thing to see. I like to read comics in my free time, so it was cool to see the montage scene come up where they recreate all the famous comic book covers and panels. Because a lot of those comic books I had either own or I have like a reprint of it, and it was kind of like a cool, like, point to the screen moment, at least for me anyway, because I could like watch the movie and be like, oh, I have that comic book, or oh, I've read that before, I borrowed it off a friend, and that kind of made the movie have like that nice personal touch. But there were some things that I wasn't completely sold on. There were a couple of scenes in the film which I felt really did not have to be there. I'll maybe get into that in spoilers, but there were some things like that. The general direction with the villain, the mystery villain, I wasn't too keen on as well. But like I said, overall, I still liked it. And it's not my favorite Spider Man movie, but it's still a Spider Man movie I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll start it off with the things that I liked because that's not the things I liked are not tied to spoilers at all. I think this is the best looking Spider-Man movie out of like all how many
Yeah,
live action ones do we have now? Three, six. This is the ninth one. Um,
I believe so. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's the best looking one, cinematography wise, VFX wise. I think it looks really good. I think the suit's probably the best looking one. And before this movie, I would have said the Homecoming
Yeah.
one. I would say this probably about edges it out. Um, I like a lot of it. It does have some references in terms of like Tom Holland's fighting style to the PS4 video game, which I really like.
Yeah, that
Um,
was fun.
there are some other nods to that game too, which I'm not gonna really elaborate on, but I did like that as a fan of the game. In my opinion, the 2018 game is like the best piece of Spider-Man media ever. So I love seeing the nods to that. I think the choreography in general was, even besides like the PS4 tie-ins, was really cool. It's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer. Like when Spider-Man's fighting the ninjas, I
Yeah.
really liked that whole bit. I think that was I believe I heard that the ninjas were like Jackie Chan's stunt team or something. I'm not.
I heard something similar to that too.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had a stunt team. I don't know like
Yeah,
the ins and outs of how that works, but I thought that whole sequence was pretty well done. And in general, like
yeah.
all the other fight stuff, I did buy. It was pretty good. But my main issue, which I can't really elaborate too much on in the spoiler-free section, is kind of like what Mike was talking about earlier. It's that mystery villain. I didn't like it. I really didn't like how that was done. And in general, I feel like a lot of the movie was very predictable. I could see everything coming from a mile away. I I literally didn't have any surprises at all during this. One thing I will say though is I did like that there really weren't a whole lot of like fan servicey things to the extent of like No Way Home, for example. That's just like blatant,
Oh yeah,
you
with
know.
all the memes.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
well, not even that, but I mean like just cameo fest. Like
yeah.
it's not anything like that, which I do appreciate. I think there's a time and place for that, but I don't need every movie to be like that. So I'm glad that
Mhm.
this was like more of a grounded story, just in general. I was really excited to see a post high school Tom Holland Spider-Man because I think that's actually like where
Yes,
some of his best story potential kind of comes out. I mean,
yeah,
again, to circle
yeah. Like
back to
for
the
me,
video
I'm a
game.
huge fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, like I was gonna say, I like for me personally, I've always been a huge fan of like college era Spider-Man. That's been my favorite. Like if I read any of the comics, I'll read that era. I'll play the video games, which is set in that era. And then the latter half of the Toby movies is set in that era too. And for me, I just ironically, even as like someone who was in high school, I've preferred that over the high school drama stuff that was like originally in like the first two Tom Holland movies. But yeah, like this was something that I was glad to see finally happen with Tom Holland too, because he is one of, if not the best Spider-Man actors, at least for live action for me. So I was glad we got to see like a new era of like a brand new day even for Tom Holland's version of the character.
Yeah, I agree. Tom Holland is my favorite live action Spider-Man. My favorite Spider-Man is
Yeah,
Yuri Lowenthal, I think is his name,
yeah,
the
that's
video
his name.
game
Yeah,
one. But
yeah, he's
this is
pretty
my
good.
favorite like live action one. And I'm glad that he had a trilogy in the high school era because I still do like that era. I think there's some cool stuff you can do with that. But it's cool seeing that transition because the only time we've really seen that transition before was with, at least in live action, was with Toby, where it's
Yeah,
all done in the first movie. Like he's in high school for like 10 minutes and then
yeah,
he just graduates and we never circle back to that.
yeah,
So it's cool like
and
that
we
we got a
kind of get that.
fully fleshed out like trilogy in that era, and now we're getting
Yeah,
into the college post college era. I like that it's allowing the
yeah,
story to kind of breathe. I mean that's more a comment on like his whole run as of now rather than just this movie, but you know.
yeah. But no, that's a valid complaint because even when you said that, I just remember too that we didn't even get that with Andrew Garfield when he was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They graduated, I think it was in the second movie.
Yep.
So it's just an era that isn't done often, and especially in live action. So that was a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah. I I don't know. I liked there was a lot of like stuff that they had like the right foundation for this movie to be good.
Yes.
It's just they fumbled the ball. At least in my opinion, like again, I'm not gonna get into it too much in the spoiler free section, but the villain I did not like. I didn't like how that was
Yeah.
done. Um and in general, I feel like there was just a lot of I'm trying to like articulate how to get my thoughts across without spoiling anything. I just feel like
I will say there's a lot of, yeah.
there was
I
like
was
a
just
lot
gonna
of
say
like
for me,
studio oversight. I could like where they kind of
yes,
had to do some
there
things.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah. For me, it felt more like, and this is not what I was looking forward to, but this was kind of what I felt at the end, was it felt more like, and again, I'm trying to stay as generic as possible, but there was a lot of sequel marketing.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of potentials for spin-offs or someone showing up in X, Y, or Z thing. And it just I kind of wanted it to just have its own like pace, its own breath of fresh air, which it kind of did for a while, but then it kind of went back towards, like we were talking about with the studio oversight.
Yeah, well, it's that, and originally, actually, when I was going into this movie, I was a little worried that I was going to be like a little too chaotic in terms of how many people are in it, because from the trailers we knew that
Mhm.
Punisher was going to be in it, Hulk was going to be in it. I'm like, okay, we're kind of
Yeah.
pushing it. I will say,
Not
I
to
feel
mention
like
the
at
30
least
billion villains.
right. Well, I feel like at least
Yeah.
in terms of Hulk and Punisher, I feel like they were actually utilized fairly well. I think they were kind of balanced.
Yeah.
Um,
And I kind of liked Punisher in this. That was like a nice unexpected team up I wasn't ready to see yet, but
yeah,
pleasantly surprised with.
I didn't mind that. I think that was actually okay. But I mean,
Yeah.
in general, and I mean, this kind of goes into like I'm not gonna name names, but like I just wish that this was like a real like just a plain Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? Like I wish there weren't
Yeah.
other contaminants in there. Like,
Mm.
I just
Yeah.
wanted like a plain old Spider-Man story like in the game, and it's just it's kind
Or in
of
the
there,
earlier
but it's
movies.
not. And I don't
Yeah.
know. It just felt too
Well,
like the studio heads were trying to pull it in this direction to make XYZ happen in a few years, and I'm just like, I don't like why
mm,
does why I don't need my Spider-Man movie to be a setup movie. It's just I don't know. I wasn't
yeah.
really a huge fan of that. So anyway, that's about all I can really say without getting into spoilers. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to add before we got into full unfiltered
I'm actually
spoilers.
Yeah, I'm all set for the spoiler section. So if you've made it this far, thank you for sticking around for our review. If you have not seen the movie yet, please go watch it. I still think you're going to enjoy a lot of what this movie has to offer. Then please come back and hear the rest of our thoughts.
All right, you've been warned.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
want to kick it
Warning's
off
off.
with your initial spoiler thoughts?
I will actually. For me, there was kind of one thing I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to see in this movie, and this was kind of teased in a lot of the marketing.
Oh, I know what you're gonna
Was
say, and I'm so glad they didn't do it.
I I wanted Man Spider in this movie so bad. I really wanted that because for me it kind of felt, I guess, at the end of the movie when it was just, oh, he just gets organic webbing and then the eye thing felt a little safe for me. I wanted to see some crazy stuff go on. I wanted him to get the 6 arms. I wanted him to get the Man Spider at the end for just a little bit. I thought that would be like a fun new thing we get to see. But the mutation for me kind of just rehashed some stuff we'd already seen, like with Tobey Maguire, how he had the organic webs. So I was hoping for it to take it to that extra level, especially with all the inner turmoil going on with this version of Peter Parker. I thought that would have been an interesting thing to see. Um, Plus, I liked the '90s TV show, and a Punisher versus Man Spider fight or a Hulk versus Man Spider fight could have been cool. But I don't mind that as much. But I was kind of hoping that the mystery villain would be different, and it was exactly who I thought it was going to be. And again, spoiler warnings off, but I did not want it to be Jean Grey
Well, here's the thing. It's a Spider-Man movie without a Spider-Man villain. Jean Grey is not a Spider-Man
as the
villain,
main villain.
nor is she even a villain in this one, really. Like it's revealed that what damage
Technically, yeah.
control is the villain. Like, come on, like what the hell?
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. I'm like, like I get that. Like the closest thing we have to an actual Spider-Man villain is Scorpion for like maybe 5 minutes, maybe. And
Yeah,
that's being generous. Half the time he's not even in the suit. After that 5 minutes, he's being like moved around prison cells in a jumpsuit. Like
yeah.
it's
And then
just
he fights Spider-Man again, which I liked that fight, but like he gets thrown into like a squad car and he's done
yeah. I mean, I actually
because he's just
did.
a guy.
I did like that sequence actually because I
I
did
did
think
too.
that
Yeah,
I mean the fight was cool, but also I liked how it kind of showed the inner battle between like Peter's, I don't know what to call it, like
yeah,
his mutated persona and like his
yeah.
normal
His
persona.
genetic mutation.
Right, because he like you could
He
tell like
got
as soon as
those.
he
Yeah,
locked back in, like he felt bad for injuring the police officer in the
yeah,
car that he smashed
yeah,
with Scorpion's body.
yeah.
Um, so I actually thought that was pretty well done, and the cinematography in that, like particularly in the close up when he's like the what's it called, the like not the stinger, but like what's the like the sharp bit at the end of the tail.
Yeah, the stinger.
That's what it's called. Okay, yeah. So like
That is,
when
it is a stinger. Yeah.
yeah. Like when that's like, you know, right up against his face and there's like a close up shot and there's like the fire in the background, like that's like a
Mhm.
really cool shot. I think that was
It
done
is.
really
Yeah.
well. Um,
And I like the swinging shots too. I like that one bit still where he's falling off the building and it goes in and you can see his eye in the mask. That's something else I liked about this movie too, is that, and this was kind of my complaint with some of the Tom Holland ones, is especially like, I know you like this movie, but in Homecoming, you can tell when they had a practical suit and when they just had a CGI like suit for that. For this, they did a great job with the suit. It feels like a real suit. It's got the wrinkles, and you can see the some of his eyes underneath the mask in some shots, which I thought is like a really fun addition. So it's got that old school, physical, simple Spider-Man suit, which is something I've wanted for a while to see again. And for me, this is perfect, and it really helps sell a lot of the other stuff in this movie. Like I know we had mentioned the ninja fight, and seeing that juxtaposition between the uniforms was something that I thought was really cool, while also allowing Spider-Man to, like I said, stand out and have that cool sequence with those the ninja fighters. I was actually looking forward to the choreography for this one a lot more so than usual because the director for this one was
Destin
the same
Daniel
guy who
Cretton.
did. Thank you. Yeah, he did Shang Chi a couple years ago, and I really liked that movie. So I was glad we could see that martial arts style come into a Spider-Man movie. That was something I really liked to see, um, and I was impressed with that. And like I know we talked about this earlier, but I didn't mind Punisher being in this. I thought that was a fun thing, and it's a team up you would expect to happen over New York City as street tier heroes, which, like I said, compared to like Doctor Strange or Nick Fury or Iron Man, this is for me a lot more believable. Like for Spider-Man being able to team up with someone like that.
Well, it does kind of
So I
like
thought that was
answer one
something
of
I
the
got to
fun
see.
like joke complaints that I've noticed people have. Like I don't even know if it's a complaint really, but it's like like the meme of like other superheroes when it's not their movie and they just don't
Yeah,
show up. But like in this
yeah,
one, like okay, you know, people who would plausibly be in New York are in New York. Although I didn't understand. Now,
yeah,
granted, I never finished She-Hulk, but I thought I heard that Hulk was on some like other like that
yeah. He
what he had a
was,
son
but
or
they didn't
something.
do that anymore.
Like
Yeah, they didn't do that anymore.
I guess we just
I
like
think they're just gonna pretend that doesn't exist.
which is probably for the
I think
best,
that's the game
but
plan.
yeah.
Uh,
But I mean
but
that was a little
yeah,
weird, but like he's just
yeah,
casually a physics
yeah.
professor like at I don't
I
even
mean, you save the universe, let him do his thing.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing too. Like you were talking about the whole. I guess it's not my movie. I guess the Avengers, the new Avengers, don't care about stuff happening in New York City,
Oh
like
yeah.
straight out.
No, yeah, it's
I
only
guess that
this
wasn't their problem.
well, I guess Yelena
It's
was
not. It's a
there. Or
small potato
no,
problem.
she's Thunderbolt. Well, no, she is the new event. She's the new
She is the new
Avengers.
Avengers. Yeah, she's one of the leaders of the new Avengers. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so you're not gonna help, not gonna help him out. You're not
Well,
gonna call Sentry down and take care of this.
one thing I actually thought was kind of funny, speaking of Yelena, I don't know, I feel like this
Oh
had to be
God.
done on purpose, but in in
Yeah.
Yelena's office, quote unquote. They like kind of
Yes.
reference the Spider-Man PS4, like
Oh
the
God.
suit you get from.
The unlockable suit. Yeah.
I forget what you have to do to unlock that suit. I think you have
I think you have to like you got to
platinum
do
the
some
game.
challenge.
I think.
No, was that? I don't think that was a platinum one.
I don't know. I
Was
mean,
it?
I know it's
It
like
might have
a
been. I
hard
don't
one to
know.
unlock, but I
It's a
mean,
really difficult one to unlock.
but
But
yeah,
yeah, it was definitely a choice.
yeah.
Just
There's
for
a
that,
suit in
like
the
that was one
game.
of the scenes I thought was not needed. Like it just, I thought that one was a little out of place for me. Um,
I don't. I mean,
but
like I understand that Yelena's like a quirky person. I
yeah,
don't know. It was a little, but I did kind of.
yeah,
There was part of me that liked the nod to the like the underpants suit
the
from,
PlayStation thing. Yeah. Oh
but
God, yeah.
then and part of me was on board with it. But then when they like cut to Peter like laying back and like showing
Oh
his
yeah, it was
feet, I'm like,
weird.
what are we?
It
Oh,
was
I was like,
weird.
did Tarantino
Yeah,
take over for like a second? There's
yeah.
like a guest director. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's
The
like okay.
I wanted at some point, I wanted to see him swing with the ESU hoodie on, like in the like as another Spider-Man suit nod, like in the game where you get the ESU outfit, where he's in like the t-shirt and the jeans. That would have been a cool nod too, if we're doing like suit nods.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
but I don't know, like
whatever.
it just
That's just it
anyway.
did feel
But
kind of out of place. Like I
yeah,
said, I was kind of
it
on
did.
board with it at first, but then
Like
it
it's
got
kind of
weird.
funny, but it got real weird. But
And also,
yeah,
I don't
overall,
think Yelena was wearing anything.
I don't know. Yeah,
I couldn't
it was a
tell.
weird it was
It
a
was
weird
weird.
scene. It was
It
really weird.
there's a lot of.
Um,
It's one of those things where the more you
yeah,
look into it, the weirder it is.
the weirder. Yeah, the more you think about it, the odder it gets. But
Also, she had a full
yeah,
face
I
of
mean,
makeup on in the steam. There's just so many logistical.
yeah,
Like you can
don't,
literally
yeah,
see the
just
eyeliner.
don't think about it. Yeah,
It's
don't
like
worry about it.
okay.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, and I did not like the like I said with the Jean Grey thing. Kind of took me out of it. It didn't feel necessarily like a Spider-Man movie like we were talking about, and I wasn't too crazy on the the backstory being the way it was. I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't go too deep into the backstory for Jean Grey. That's something I would have liked to have seen done later on instead of in this movie. And I would have liked to have seen her have stronger telepathic abilities other than just the body hopping.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where like maybe they'll expand on that in future movies, but like that's my problem with this. They
X-Men.
chose to make a Spider-Man movie the introduction for like a core X-Men character, and I really feel
Yeah,
like I really wonder if this movie originally had like a completely different villain, quote
yeah.
unquote, and then
Like
Marvel
I
was
thought she
like,
was
"Oh,
gonna be
guys, we're gonna need X-Men in the new Avengers movies. We gotta throw them in.
yeah.
Let's just put them in
Like
Spider-Man."
I thought she was gonna be yeah, like I thought she was gonna be a villain called Typhoid Mary, who's she's kind of got like a similar-ish power set. So I thought that's what they were gonna go for, like a more obscure Spider-Man villain. But nope, that wasn't the plan, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's easier for an X-Men movie.
I think I don't remember exactly what she said, but I think there was literally someone in our theater, which was like basically sold out, by the
Yes,
way,
that's right.
who
Yeah,
who basically what did she say? It was like something like, "Oh well, we all saw that coming" or something. Like
yeah. Like oh, there we go.
yeah, like
Yeah, which I figured.
I was like, well. And mind
I
you,
at first,
I
yeah,
avoided like all of the rumors and stuff for this movie. Like
I did too.
my
But
algorithm
I
just really
figured that's
didn't
what
show
was
me
gonna happen.
anything, and I was like, okay, I'm not mad. I want to go in as blind as possible. But even I knew
Yeah,
like kind of what was going on with what's her name, Sadie Sink. That's
yeah.
the actress.
Yeah,
Like,
I figured. I was like, they're casting her now so they can get her for 10 to 20 years.
oh yeah, she's locked. She's got one of those like
She's
multi-picture
locked
deal.
in.
Yep,
Yeah. At
she's
first,
locked.
I thought she was breaking into damage control to free, not like her sister, but to maybe free some other X-Men member like Cyclops. That's someone I could see in Damage Control, or I don't know, maybe Beast, or like maybe Magneto's stuff. That was something that you would keep in a storage room like that.
Right.
But I don't know. It just didn't connect as much as I wanted it to. But there are other things I did like. I did like some of the Ned and MJ stuff. I kind of was hoping that he would have some other core member get added into his like main cast of friends and like loved ones. I was kind of hoping to see somebody new show up, like maybe while he's Spider-Man he meets Black Cat, or maybe as Peter Parker he runs into Liz Allen again, or Betty Brant, or somebody else, just to kind of have something different go on. But I don't know, it just felt a little too safe for me.
Yeah, I was not. I mean, even from like just the marketing, I could tell from that point on that I wasn't going to be a fan of the decision. And sure enough, I really
Yeah,
wish it was a clean slate. I wish that we weren't still
I
following
wanted
Ned
it
and
to be,
MJ. I like those characters. Don't get me wrong;
and I
they're
like
great,
them.
but
Yeah,
it really feels like we're just defeating the whole purpose of the ending and the lesson
yeah,
that he learned at the end of No Way Home. Like I wanted a
yeah,
new set of characters, like maybe throw like Felicia Hardy in there, or like an actual
yeah.
or like
Or
Gwen
you know what would be
Stacy or
crazy?
something.
Yeah, or Harry Osborn.
Yeah,
Have him show up,
like
because we don't know what's up with him. He could show up, and that could be a fun thing he could wrestle with, where
yeah,
his new best friend might turn evil at some point,
right.
but he doesn't know.
Like
Like that could be something cool, or maybe like since Flash doesn't remember Peter Parker, those two get along now because it's been like 4 or 5 years
eh,
since that movie came out, so we don't know what he's been up to.
right. I honestly just can't help but wonder, like, if Tom Holland and Zendaya's like real life relationship, like it had to have impacted,
Kind of influenced
like,
the
yeah,
maybe, I
it
don't
had
know,
to have, because I don't know.
but
I really just wish it was a new set of characters and that we just kind of left the old
yeah,
characters behind. Again,
just
I like those characters
yeah,
in the original
I do
Tom Holland
too. Yeah.
trilogy. It's just I feel like it really defeats the whole impact of the ending of the last one,
Of No Way
because
Home,
the
right?
movie
Yeah,
ends with Ned seemingly recognizing who he was and MJ seemingly kind of warming up to him more and more. Like,
yeah,
I mean, halfway through she blatantly tells him to his face, like, oh, I don't love you, I don't know you anymore, like, because of the
yeah.
whole spell. But like you could
Oh,
tell
yeah,
she was like warming up to him after that. Like like made the
yeah,
drawing, and what I'm like, okay, I see where this is
yeah,
going. Like by the next movie they're gonna
yeah,
be back together, like whatever.
yeah.
It
And
feels
that's
like
kind
we're
of what I was
backtracking
hoping.
the whole thing, and I'm just like, wow,
Yeah,
like, not only does it kind of ruin this movie, but it also like defeats the whole point of the
and I
last
yeah.
movie. I don't know.
Well, and it kind of denies future setups, like we were talking about with some other characters getting added in or having new story potential.
Hey, like
Like
I
I
would
said,
have
I do
loved to
like
see
this
like Glenn.
MJ and I do like Ned this time, but somebody
Hey,
different would have been cool for either of those roles,
like Spider-Man has
just
so
for
many
something
love
like
interests in
different.
like the other media. Like throw in Black
Yeah,
Cat, throw in Gwen Stacy, throw in like an actual like another Mary Jane Watson. Like was
or
she
someone different. Yeah.
like was Zendaya ever referred to as Mary Jane, or was she just MJ? Like,
No, I think
or
she's
no, Michelle
Michelle
Jones.
Jones,
Yeah,
but still MJ. Yeah,
yeah.
but she's still MJ.
So throw in
So you could,
Mary Jane. I don't know.
or something like that. I don't know.
Like there's
Yeah,
so many things you could do. And like as for his friends, like I mean, like you said, throw Harry in there. I mean, there's just so much
yeah.
other
Flash
stuff you
Thompson would
can
have been
do.
cool. I know we're getting them, but do Human Torch. Those two are friends in the comic books.
Yeah.
That'd be a great team up movie. Stuff like that. Small things
I mean, to
and
be fair, right
different
now
things.
they're in a different universe, but yeah, I mean, they'll
For
converge
now,
eventually. Yeah.
give it 2 movies. I'm like, give it within a movie or two.
I mean, we literally saw the Thunderbolts that they're now in this one, so I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll
So
meet
just
up
give it
in
some
one of the Avengers
time.
movies. But
Yeah,
I don't know. There's just
but
I feel like they could have just taken that in a different direction, and like for me,
yeah,
it puts a sour taste in my mouth, like when I'm thinking of just the impact of the ending of the last movie. It's I don't know. it just feels like he didn't
Yeah.
learn anything. Like the whole point was he learned that like he in order to keep MJ and Ned safe, he has to keep them at a distance. Like that's why she was wearing the band-aid at the end, and he saw that. That's
Yeah.
the reason he didn't give her the letter initially. And then he's just like, never mind. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. It
And that
just
like and even like if they and this was something I thought they were gonna do when they picked like the whole character development with Jean Grey is that at the end like Spider-Man would let them do their thing and he would try to tell that to Jean Grey that you just got to learn how to let go sometimes and start over. And that's
right.
not necessarily a bad thing. I thought that was the direction they were going to go with it, which they kind of do, but then they backtrack it a little bit.
Yeah, it felt
So
like it was playing it too safe. Like
exactly.
I don't know.
So,
It was just kind
but
of disappointing in that sense, but
yeah.
I don't know.
But whenever you're ready, I've got my final verdict.
Yeah, me too. I ended up
Okay.
landing on a 3.5 out of 5, or I guess a 7 out of 10.
Mhm.
It Like I said, there was definitely some stuff to like. I do think it's the best visual Spider-Man movie in terms of
Oh
cinematography,
yeah.
VFX. I do really like the suit. It's probably my favorite. Um, and then I feel like this is probably Tom's best acting in a Spider-Man movie.
I think so too.
Um,
Yeah.
Key emphasis on in a Spider-Man movie. I think he was better in Odyssey, but this was his best. I think the choreography and the action was really well done, especially the whole ninja sequence. I think that was pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah. Yep.
Although considering it was in all the posters, it really was a small portion of the movie. But anyway,
Yeah.
I liked some of the nods and references to the PS4 game. I'm a sucker for that game. I love it. It's probably like my favorite story-based video game ever. Um, it's just for me, I didn't like how Jean Grey was used. I didn't like the whole MJ and Ned thing, like we just were talking about. I don't know. I just it just didn't really stick the landing for me. So I'm going with the three and a
Yeah, that's
half.
fair. Okay. For me, I kind of bumped it a little higher up. I gave it a 4 out of 5, so like an 8 out of 10. I like I said, I wasn't as keen on some of that stuff as before, but I still really liked this movie. It had a lot of positive things for me. I liked a lot, and it's the small moments that really carried it for me. Like at the very end of the movie, when he gets out of the hospital, there's the Spider-Man parade, and like all the people there
Yeah,
trying to
that
show
was
their
well done.
appreciation for him.
Yeah, I
I
like
liked
that.
that a lot, and I liked how he would visit Aunt May's grave and give her updates, and then at the end, he puts the flowers back and he goes back with Ned. I liked that. And that was something that he did move on from. He could finally learn to connect as Peter Parker again. I enjoyed that stuff. Um, so for me, I guess it's the smaller things that add up for me that and then like I said earlier, with the whole montage scene, that was something I really enjoyed too because like I said, I have some of those comics and I played the PlayStation game before and that was awesome. So I think that might be bumping my score up a little higher than it should be, but I still really like this movie. So it's a 4 out of 5 for me if that's something you're willing to round up for.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm definitely interested in rewatching it. I might go back this weekend or maybe next week and rewatch it with some friends. I don't know,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, personally, I'm going a 3.5, but I guess I'm okay with a 4 for now as like our like medium.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I like we both said. I mean, there's definitely stuff like it's not all bad. Like it's still enjoyable. I'd say it's worth going to see in
Oh,
theaters.
absolutely.
But I don't know. I guess I mean at this point, if you're watching this, you've probably already seen the movie or you don't care about spoilers, which I guess fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I think it was okay. I would say it's definitely better than some of the more recent Marvel movies. Like, I mean, off the top of my head, it's better than like everything from last year: Captain America, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. I'd watch this any day over those three. Um, I don't even
I don't
remember
know. I like the
remember what.
Captain America movie, but This is definitely better than Quantum Mania, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean that this is a discussion for another time, but I mean, I for me, Marvel in general hasn't really hit since Endgame. I don't know if it's just I'm growing out of it or it's just the actual quality of the movie are getting worse or maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. I mean, it's weird though because
Yeah,
I can still go back and rewatch like the Infinity Saga stuff and still like it. So I don't. Maybe it's
yeah.
nostalgia. I don't know. But
I don't know.
I mean, we were both born in 2006, so like we grew up with the Infinity Saga, and I think as we're getting older,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just the quality of the movies are dropping or we're just becoming too like not the target
I don't know.
demographic. I don't know, but anyway, that was a weird tangent.
But
But yeah,
but
I
yeah,
mean, it was
so
still mildly enjoyable, I guess.
yeah. I still got a kick out of it.
Yeah. So anyway,
So
that's gonna be it for this episode. We have another like our full weekly episode coming out later this week, so definitely stay tuned for that. Um, And yeah, that's about it for this one. Thank you all for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. We got a bunch of other stuff on our channel. Like I said, the full podcast of other movie reviews, trailer breakdowns, that kind of thing. So definitely check that out. With that all said, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.